And I guess with that, we'll just start off with our first series. We turn now to Toast. What do you have for us?
Shit, what was it called again?
It is
There we go. There.
Wistor
Okay.
yeah. Wistoria Wand and Sword, also known in Japanese as Tsue to Tsurugi no Wistoria. So this is a manga original or light
Yeah,
novel
it
original?
is a manga original, and getting
Okay, it
a
is manga
light
original.
novel, and either has gotten already or is getting a
Yeah,
light
on the
novel
side.
adaptation for some reason.
Okay. Yep, yep,
I don't
yep,
get
yep,
it.
yep.
And
It's because they
let's
love this shit, man.
the studio making this is Actas, along with Bandai
Actors.
Namco
Okay.
Pictures, which makes sense. Once I want to bring it
Hmm.
up in a bit.
I think you mentioned that Actus is the one that did Girls in some of the initial, at least initial Girls and Panzer stuff, right?
But if I told you I've never watched Girls on Panzer, I hate it.
God damn it, man. Wait, how do you hate it without having
I
watched
hate it.
it?
Name one good character from Girls and Panzer.
What?
He hates
What?
tanks,
They're all
dude.
very good. Yukari is my favorite personally, but they're all very
You
good.
weirdo. My
Come on, man.
favorite is Anchovy.
Well, Anchovy is quite popular too, to
He
be
hates
honest.
her
But
though.
it's like she's yeah. But
Where
yeah.
was I?
Anyways, uh, please do keep going on about Wistoria.
So, yeah,
Yes.
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
All right.
I
Yeah.
kept calling it
Alright.
Westoria for the longest time, but no, it's Wistoria. Like
Yeah, it's
the,
Wistoria.
the flower. Is it a flower? Yeah, it's a
I
flower.
thought the flower
Isn't
was
that
wisteria.
Wisteria?
Yeah, it's wisteria.
Yeah, Wisteria.
What?
Yeah,
Yeah.
this is not this is not the
It's okay.
flower,
So yeah,
actually.
that's why I was confused when I was looking it up because I was like, wait a minute.
Alright. Anyways, so do you wanna just go over
So
maybe
the wisteria
the
flower has many meanings across cultures, including love, romance, good luck, and longevity. Wisteria's soft violet color can symbolize love, especially the kind that lasts. In Japan,
Yeah, okay.
wisteria
What
can
about
represent forbidden
Wistoria?
love and human spirit's
yeah,
tenacity.
what about Wistoria, the anime series here?
In Chinese, wisteria is linked to the legend of the white snake, which tells the tale of a love that transcends time and earthly boundaries. Now, I bring that up because the story is about this dude named Will Turner. No, who's Will Turner? No,
Will
that's
Surfer. Will
yeah.
Surfer.
Will Turner
Will
is
Turner, like fucking
pirate.
Pirates of the
Look, Pirates
Caribbean.
of the
Oh,
Caribbean.
my bad.
Yeah.
I'm looking at pirates now. Yeah. So story is there's this dude named Will Surfort,
Surfer. Yes.
and he's in his sixth sixth year of magical academy. I don't remember the name. Regarden? Was that what it's called? Yeah.
Regarding, I think.
So he's a sixth year, and apparently, according to that, that's the last year of the Mag School Academy. Which, and I bring that up because this Will Surfer dude is 16, right? So for 6 years, he's been in the Magical Academy, but everyone knows him as what is it? What was they use a specific term for him? The what is it? Learner, I think, or whatnot.
What?
The
Okay.
learner.
What? What?
Yeah, that's what
He's
they
The
used to call
student?
me back
Yeah.
in school too. Because I
uh,
was
this
Yeah.
dude.
learning. No one
This
else was
Doing
dude's
learning.
school's
Just me
fucking
though.
learning shit. What a loser.
Look at this
let
guy
me see, what
learning
is it?
shit, man.
What a
This guy over here
nerd,
eating
bro.
bees and learning.
I bring that
But
up
yeah.
because there's three types of curriculum in the Magic School. There's they call him a learner because there's three types. There's uh the curriculum or where there's the book stuff, like studying stuff, and then there's
Okay.
spell work, and then there's like the practical exam. I guess is that the term? Or it's the praxis as they call it, which is I guess the applied arts of magic. And the thing about Will is he has no magic at all.
Wow.
So they call him
We've never
Dude,
seen
learner.
this.
They call him learner because he has high aptitudes in magical theory and like the book stuff in class,
Okay.
but when it comes to like spell work, he's got a score of 0.
How is he not flunked?
Well, yeah. So the thing is, apparently he makes up for it, and for his score of 0 in like spell work, he makes it up in the book work, which is why they call him a learner because he doesn't have like practical experience with
I
magic.
don't think that's how grades work, really, but sure.
And it's a weird
Also,
system.
wait, so he like can't can he just like he's just hypothetically like they think he just can't use magic like
Well, he's every time he's
he's
tried to
just
use
like
magic in his 6 years, he's been unable to. And his other, so he's got super high scores in like the theory of magic. I guess that's what I'm calling it, and in praxis, which is which is like the dungeon slash app, like practical application of combat with magic and whatnot.
Huh?
It's weird.
wait, how is he good with the application of magic if he cannot use?
Thing is, without magic
Wait,
is
actually, let me ask a question that'll probably set the baseline for our discussions about this world going forward. Are the rules or like are the is the world building that they do with regards to the academy, is that considered important in the story structure? Like, does the author actually take care to create these like proper rules, or is he just like, yeah, there's a fucking academy in some classes?
though. I mean, the way that Will hasn't flunked yet is that he has high scores in the practical stuff, or the magic theory and the combat stuff. So, and in order to graduate at the top
Yeah.
of the class, which he's trying to do, he's basically trying to become the so they have this thing where, you know, it's this thing where, oh, if you graduate top of your class in school and you have a certain amount of credits, you can uh you can go to the upper class and try and become
Okay.
something called the Magia Vander, which is like these
Yes.
5 elite which is like these 5 elite mages that protect the world from aliens or whatnot, something like that. I guess you
So
could
is
call it
is he
valedictorian slash magic emperor slash Hokage slash, I don't know,
so
sage
are these
emperor
Magia
slash.
Vanders, these Magia Vanders are actual graduates of the academy,
Yeah,
right? Or like what? Okay, okay, okay. They're not actual part of the academy, they're actual just graduates,
yeah, I
right?
guess so
Yeah,
because
okay.
they graduated, and
'Cause, like, I don't know whether this is, like, one of those, like, Shokugeki no Soma or Medaka Box kinda situations where the powerful, like, heroes are within still part of the school as, like, students, or whether they're outside of the school. Like, what is it? Which one is it?
well, we start off with Will being in his last year at the school, so
Okay.
it's probably going to it's probably has to do with, oh, eventually he'll graduate. But yeah,
Okay, okay,
thing
okay.
about it is, the thing that he hasn't flunked out yet is that apparently by defeating monsters in the dungeon, you can straight up get uh, credits for your school. And Will's goal is, oh, to go to like the upper class. What is it called? The upper institute, which is, I guess, after you graduate from the Magic Academy, and that leads you the way to become a Magia Vendor. Is you can either create an original magic for yourself, which he obviously can't,
Right.
or you can gain 7,200 credits. So through and
What?
and graduate that way.
Oh, you can either create, like, your own original magic, or you get all these credits, like, a shit ton of credits, and then
Yeah.
you
And
graduate.
so the
Okay,
way
okay, okay,
Will
okay.
has been surviving, even though he has no like score in or spell work, is that he's been hunting a lot of monsters in the dungeon with a
Mhm.
sword.
Okay, so his
Okay.
like
So
actual regular combat skills are good.
yeah.
Yeah, okay. So, okay, so then
So
afterwards, sort of this development is the main conflict against. the professor and then doing other stuff, or is it like it's a split up into arcs, right? I'm guessing it's like the first is against the professor, and then afterwards it's against whatever else.
So, in order to bring that up, the other parts of the story, you should know that the writer of Wistoria is Fujino Omori, and
Okay.
if you don't know who that is, that's the creator of DanMachi. And let me
Oh my
tell
god! God
you,
damn it!
it's the same old story beat. So back in here,
Really? God
'cause
damn it! It's not like
you know how Bell Crannel was like, oh,
yes, yes.
I want to become a hero or
He
whatever,
had,
a dungeon
he had
crawler.
like the growth cheat essentially, the meme growth cheat.
And his growth sheet is as long as he likes this girl, like all his stats will raise and and you will get rapid experience growth, right?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So the reason the reason he wants or Will wants to become a Magia Vander is that there's his childhood friend Elfaria Albus Serfort. They have the
Oh my
same last
god.
name, which I believe
Yes,
is
yes.
probably because they grew up in the same orphanage or whatever.
Yeah, 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 yeah.
Because they're obviously not related.
Yeah.
So yeah, they both entered the Magic Academy together at the age of 10, but she's the youngest magician ever to become a Magia Vander. So before
Oh, so he
she,
wants to like catch up to her or whatever, right?
yeah, so he straight up says once he fights against one of the teachers, he's like, I'm. The teacher was like, why do you want to become a Magia Vander so much? And he's like, because I love her. And I want us we both want to see the sunset together at the top of the tower because the top of the tower is where the Magia Vanders are.
Right, right, right.
So this whole is Will's whole shtick of, trying to get to the top of the tower and become a Magia Vander is so that he can reunite with his childhood friend, which
So
is the
when you say like
unattainable
this
flower, just like what's that chick's name in Danmachi? Ains?
Eins, yeah, Eins
Eins,
Wallenstein or
Eins,
whatever,
Eins
yeah,
Wallenstein, yeah.
yeah,
That's the
Eins
same
Wallenstein.
story beats and
Fucking, I
whatnot.
can't believe this motherfucker, this author made exactly the same story. It's actually like, and that
I mean,
he's
I could believe it.
actually like getting paid for this. This thing has an 8 on Mall. What the fuck is wrong with people?
Well,
God damn
I
it,
can
man.
explain that.
Somebody
I'll
said this anime is a pleasant surprise. Bro, just go watch Damachi, man. What the fuck?
I will explain that in a bit. But anyway, so yeah, so
Oh
with
my god.
Will's swordsmanship that he's been honing for 6 years, they say uh they say in the story that he has the might of a dwarf and whatnot, and the stoutness of a dwarf because in this world there are elves and dwarves, and elves are obviously naturally good at magic, which is favored in this magical world, and dwarves aren't, but they're good at combat
Okay.
and swordsmanship. So he's a powerful swordsman with no magic, but he's trying to become the magic emperor. Does that sound familiar?
Yes.
Gee, I sure
Yeah,
love
to
Black
like
Clover,
a
Um,
million different. Yeah, actually, yeah, true.
and
wait,
that's
so
kind of
so is
ironic,
the
which is something.
can I ask something? The wizard's tower, like he's not, is he actually trying to like climb up the tower? Is this, like a physical thing that he's climbing up, or is it
There's a
like
huge there's this huge white tower. It's
mm,
the background lore of the tower is that what do they call it? They called it like Paradise Lost or something like that. So one day, like
okay?
aliens, I want to say like aliens fell fell from the sky and started attacking everyone.
You weren't fucking
And
around with
Okay.
the aliens. I literally thought you were bullshitting. I thought you were just like, yeah,
and
they protect people from aliens or
Wait,
something.
isn't that literally what happened in Black Clover?
and demons, yeah.
Yeah,
But yeah,
it's a
so
little
there's
bit,
like
yeah,
aliens
demons.
or invaders from another world. I'm just gonna call them aliens. They fell from the
Yeah, it
sky and
doesn't really
started
matter. Yeah, 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 yeah,
terrorizing
yeah, yeah,
people.
yeah.
So
Yep.
the way they fought back was the five most powerful mages of the world constructed this tower, and they built a barrier around, like I believe, the world to seal it off from like the aliens and whatnot. and these 5 powerful mages are known as the Magiavander. So
So
what they do is they hold they hold the seal that prevents the aliens from attacking the world and whatnot. So the whole point of
so
the
so
of going to the Magic Academy and like trying to become a Magiavander is to become like one of the most powerful mages, so that when the barrier finally falls, because they keep mentioning in the story that like one day the barrier will fall and we'll need powerful mages to fight against the aliens.
Why don't they just put
But
up a new
I mean,
barrier?
yeah.
Just saying.
I mean, I think the lore is not what I was getting at really. The point was, is the story like mainly focused around just mini arcs slash arcs of him putting around in the academy? Is he trying to climb the tower? Is he in the dungeon? What is he doing? What is this, a dungeon crawl
the
series?
I
What's
believe
happening here?
there's 3 episodes and there's just been
Okay.
3 major fights, but
Yeah,
the
yeah, yeah.
actual climbing of the tower is probably going to happen after he
So,
graduates because he's delving up or down into the dungeon. The tower is what keeps the barrier in place. So, and when he delves into the dungeon, I believe he's going downwards. So it's
So
like this separate place.
it's mostly dungeon stuff right now.
It's
yeah.
dungeon stuff right now because he
How
needs
much?
remember
How
he needs
often?
credits in order to graduate.
Oh yeah, 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 yeah. Because he
Right.
And
needs like the 7,200 credits or whatever it is. You're right. Yeah.
7200, yeah, and killing
Yeah.
monsters. Like they made a mention that this there's a floor boss or there's this floor monster that's worth 4 credits, but then
Okay.
Wow.
like this super rare
Holy shit, that's so
variant,
bad.
they call it an over 5 variant, is worth like 7.
That's so
Wow.
bad.
Yeah,
That's
so
so bad.
So he's gonna
Straight
be
up
grinding there for like
grinding.
the next 30 years or whatever.
Yeah,
he's been
pretty
grinding
much.
for 6 years near since
Oh
he
Wow.
was
my
10. So
god.
Wait, so how often does he and the other girl meet? Is the other girl just like in the tower all the time, or the childhood friend, is
they
she
do
in the tower
not
all the time?
meet at all. She's
Okay,
remember
so it's a split perspective,
she's at the top of the
right?
tower doing whatever,
Okay,
and
so
they
here's
don't meet.
here's here's the second question, because a standard setup uh for that sort of like split perspective, like, oh, I can someday I'll get to meet her, and then she's like off doing her own thing, and then he's like all struggling and trying to honestly like meet her. Is that like usually what happens in these sorts of setups is that this other girl gets macked on by some of the other people, like other Magia Vanders or the other people on top of the tower or other powerful figures or whatever, right? Or like other people try to hit on her. Is that sort of shit implied yet, or what?
There's this one guy who's got white hair, white bluish hair, which I assume to be ice magic. He
Hmm.
seems like the dude who's gonna hit on the main female character
Okay, okay, okay,
because the main
okay.
female character wields ice magic. So it's like, oh, he's gonna join her. He's gonna join her. What is it? Her faction because each Magia vendor is a master of a certain element in a way.
No, okay,
And he
okay.
might Mac on her,
Yeah.
but that's just me. That's just me predicting the future and
Okay.
whatnot. But yeah, they
Yeah.
don't meet. It's an Iron situation where he longs for her, but they don't. She's the unattainable flower at the top of the mountain that
Yeah,
he has
yeah.
to
Again,
journey
it's
towards.
it's kind of like the Iron situation where it's like they have her just kind of the author kind of just has her being there. Is sort of how I would describe that. Like she'll provide some like general dialogue in terms of like comedic relief or like exposition here and there, but it's mainly just like the girl is there, and it's like that's about it, kind of thing,
But
right?
don't worry,
So
because if you thought, don't worry, there's another girl who likes Will that's around him at all times. But you know
yeah,
that
yeah, yeah, the
nothing will
classic.
happen between them because Will and Elfaria are hyper fixated on each other, so nothing's gonna ever happen between the two. So
I'm just gonna
poor
say
poor
if
Hestia
this
in this
yeah,
series.
if for Hess, yeah. I'm just gonna say right here, if this series gets another stupid fucking or gets a stupid fucking spin-off, like how DanMachi got Sword Oratoria, you know,
I
right?
kinda like
DanMachi
Sword
Sword
Art
Oratoria.
Artoria.
Sword Oratoria was definitely better. I agree. I agree that Sword Oratoria was better, solidly than DanMachi. I agree. But I'm just gonna say if this goes exactly the path of DanMachi, I'm gonna scream, bro. I'm gonna scream.
Let me guess. Let me get through the bad parts of this series. All right. So
Okay.
other than like the DanMachi formula, which means your main heroine and main protagonist don't meet as often, so there's not much. It's not much interaction between the two, so they don't build up their relationship all that much. It's just
Mhm,
implied that they like each other and whatnot,
mhm.
which is not, which I don't think is that cool because it sacrifices some other like meaningful character building between the
Okay.
two. Like even then, Kirito. I'm just gonna say it's Kirito and Asuna. When they did South Progressive, they had a good dynamic and gradual character development between those two. Where's it between Bell and Ainz? Where is it between Will and Alfaria? You're just gonna have your other. You're just gonna have the other main female lead who's in the story more often, which in this
Yeah,
case her
I
name's
just don't really understand why it's like it's kind of similar to a long, long time ago when we complained about the ReZero situation, right? But even in ReZero, there was a better balance of those characters, those heroes, than there is with DanMachi, where DanMachi and Wistoria are both pretty much almost entirely split perspectives. And sort of again, as you said, they have the other girl. I'm just gonna call this the Hestia character, right?
her name's
And the
Colette.
Hestia character, yeah, Colette, excuse me. Colette in this and Hestia and Damachi are pretty much. I think most people yeah, I think most people watching these sorts of series consider Hestia to be the main girl, right? Because there's so much more interaction with her with um Bell, and Ainz almost becomes a Ainz or Alfaria in this case becomes almost a deuteragonist, right? A second protagonist in this case, and it's kind of like a very weird structure where if you have a deuteragonist, you really need them to kind of start pulling their own weight in terms of their own development or whatever stuff like that, which is kind of what happens in stories like Index, for example. But I never really saw this full development kind of thing happening with um Damachi with Ainz beyond like the whole like, oh, it's she does the comedic stuff every once in a while, although she's cold faced. And obviously it became better in Sword Oratoria, but Damachi should not have needed a spin-off, an entire spin-off to develop Ainz if she was supposed to be a deuteragonist. So I think this sort of falls into a similar trap, right? Where it's like,
Yep.
as you're implying, where it's like Alfaria is out there, but if she's supposed to be this other character, like strong main character, she should be more developed. Where it's like, okay,
But yeah, like that's the major flaw of this system. Or what else?
yeah,
That's I guess the main story beat.
yeah.
Uh, the other
Audio visual.
characters.
Oh,
What?
okay, yeah.
What else? The other nitpick of the story. It's too Magic Academy, man. It's literal.
It's so much Harry Potter.
It is literal.
Harold Potter.
Way too much Harry Potter for me. You got Colette, which is actual Hermione. Hermione.
Yes,
She's
yes,
always with
yes,
Will and whatnot.
yes.
Uh, I don't think there's a Ron Weasley yet. Maybe there is Will's roommate, but he's an
Well,
artificer,
essentially, this
and he's
this
only
is
appeared in
essentially
like
insert
5 minutes.
character as Ron,
So
right?
I don't think there's a Ron Weasley yet. But yeah,
Yeah.
there's Will's roommate who is an artificer, and he helps Will by making magic items that he can use, even though he has no magic. Because there's some places where magic doesn't work, like when he's fighting this ice monster in episode 3. So he used the
But
like
if you think about it in a sense, like for pot, I don't want to say just Potterheads, but for people who kind of create this sort of Harry Potter ish fan fiction, Harry Potter inspired fan fiction, um, Harry Potter is not really like, let's say you were to insert yourself in a Harry Potter fan fiction or something like this, right? You are not really imagining a lot of people usually aren't imagining yourself to be Harry Potter in the insert, right? you don't really want to insert yourself as the boy who lived because you're always imagining yourself to be just like the regular wizard who somehow gets caught up in this adventure and then saves the world because that's sort of the cooler premise and that's the more sort of natural self-insert premise. So in that sense, um as you said, this Hermione character, right? Not Alfari, excuse me, Colette, hooking up with the self-insert character and Will not being again the boy who lived, and being more of a Ron Weasley type regular character who later kind of
He's not the
works
boy
and
who
becomes
lived. He's
stronger.
the boy. He's the boy who learned.
Yeah, yeah,
The
The
exactly.
boy with
boy
no
who
magic.
Becomes more
I
learned.
powerful
don't
via
know.
the effort, right? Is sort of the more natural self-insert character, I think, in the sort of Potter inspired universe, in
You
my
know what's
opinion.
weird? Why does Will have glass? They give Will these giant these giant circle glasses, but when he gets them knocked
Because
off in a
that's
fight,
Harry Potter.
when he gets them knocked off in a fight, and like the POV of his eye opening, it shows he has super clear vision. So I'm like, why didn't?
Because that's how cool Harry
Also,
Potter glasses
also he
are
has
when they get
goggles
knocked off.
apparently.
Wait, he has goggles and glasses?
Yeah.
Is he like
But the
but
goggles
like
the goggles have sentimental value because that's the last thing Alfaria gave him, before she went away to the tower.
is
So
this
he
like a
keeps them
Digimon
with her.
protagonist? What's happening?
I don't know.
God damn it.
But yeah,
Alright.
where else? Where am I going with this? The characters, yeah. So you got Colette, which is like Hermione. Then you've got
Mm.
Sion Ulster, who's got red hair and is good at fire magic, and he's the Draco Malfoy of the story because he's got a crab
God
and
damn it.
Goyle, and they're saying like,
Yeah.
oh, Sion's the best at magic, and this guy Will sucks. And then there's this thing where Sion overhears like one of the teachers talking to Will and saying like, oh, you if you beat this monster in the dungeon for like because you need 4 credits this week in order to stay in the school and not flunk out. So Sion's like, "Oh, I'm gonna fight this monster instead." But when he goes with his cronies and he tries to hunt the monster, he ends up hunting a rare variant of something from like a lower floor, and then they get decimated. But Will saves the day. So
Wow.
there's a straight up like he's going to become the begrudgingly amiable friend that uh spoiler that Draco Malfoy becomes later in the series. So he's not all that bad of a guy because he's all like, "Why are you so good at? Why are you so good at combat, even though you don't have magic?" So there's him, and
Okay.
then there's Edward Serfens, which is this gaunt dude with long black hair, and he's like, "Oh, I don't like Will because he has no magic. I'm going to make fun of him in class." And then I'm going to expel him because he has no magic. He doesn't deserve to be a Magiavander. And I'm like, okay, Snape, trying to flunk Harry out of potions or whatever. So there's that. Who else is there? And then there's
I think you just
McGonagall,
yeah, McGonagall, I think you're about to
who's
say.
like, who is the headmaster in this iteration of the Harry Potter verse? Headmaster Cauldron. And her gimmick is she's got a large cauldron behind her. And I'm like, cool.
Wow.
Wow, so they're really going for the JK naming creativity, huh?
I mean, Ulster, Surfort, Sir Fence. Yeah, we got the Harry Potter naming sense in here. But so yeah, I think that the Magic Academy is pretty shallow in this series. I hate
Yeah,
to
yeah.
admit it, but the 7 Spellblades
Yeah, I was about to say, are
did
you
a actual magical academy slash world better. Because in that
I was
series,
about to say, are you missing Spellblades yet? Are you missing Spellblades yet?
they went out of their way to explain like, oh, here's the uh various regions in this world, and there was a pretty interesting episode where the main cast went to the school and got lost like after hours, and they
Uh-huh.
became lost in the maze of the school,
Right,
which is
right.
a pretty interesting concept. Like that series, even though I have my gripes about it, actually made the Magic Academy, like the actual Magic Academy world, somewhat interesting. This one is not all that much interesting. It's literally basic magic stuff, and then Will going down to the dungeon and hunt monsters for credits. And that's what a majority of the action and development is taking place is inside the dungeon of the of this academy. Heck, even Mashley did it better, but like
I mean,
Mashley,
Mashley is definitely heads and
I don't
shoulders
want to
above either of
throw
them.
out Mashley in here or
Yeah,
Blackcolor
comparing Mashley to the two is a little bit. Yeah.
because I mean at least Mashley did like, oh, we're gonna try to do some Magic Academy stuff. This is mostly dungeon crawling, just like DanMachi, if you know what I mean. What else do I have gripes of? Yeah, the story is
Oh,
weak. The characters are not kind of shallow in a way
yeah.
because
Or they weren't inspiring, or they weren't really
they aren't
um
too inspired so far.
yeah,
Like
you
there's
you
no one
didn't
that
you didn't
stands
get
out
anything more from them that you would have maybe gotten from, like, again, a DanMachi or anything like that.
because I'll bring it up again. But seven Spellblades, like who's Oliver? I don't care about that Oliver guy. Now though,
Yeah,
Now
no, no.
was a good character. I liked her, and but yeah. But you were
Oh,
wondering why this has an 8.101 on
mhm,
Mall, right? Well, that's
yes.
because the fights are really, really good. And this is really
Okay.
well animated
Oh, okay.
because this is Bandai
Is
Namco.
it just the
The
fights, or is it over
entire
is it just
thing
like
is animated really, really well. It's a visual
okay.
spectacle.
So Actus really kind of,
Active
showing up, huh?
slash, I want to say it's Bamco, Bandai
Okay.
Namco Pictures. Because the first episode when there's there's the animation's crisp and clean. There's a lot of thought put to it and whatnot. But when Kirito fights the Gleam Eyes to save the dude, it's pretty good. Like it's on that same level of hype, I guess, because
Yeah.
you see Will dashing around with the speed, and like they show his super speed, and it makes sense. And there's a lot of differing camera angles and whatnot. The fight's actually well animated. It's got lots of Sakuga near. You know what that means?
Yeah, I do.
Sakugs.
What?
He's a normie. He doesn't get it.
Yeah.
Oh,
That's
and
the
I
guy that animates, right? Mr. Sakuga.
Yeah.
yeah, the Sakugas. And I bring that up because the main main episode director is Tatsuya Yoshihara, who's also worked on One Punch Man,
Oh,
Jujutsu
nice.
Kaisen. I
Oh,
believe
okay.
he Alicization, and I believe he was like the main guy, the main animator who worked on Black Clover, which also had some pretty visual spectacle fights and whatnot. So yeah, this guy's well versed in animation, so that's why everything looks good. That's why
Yeah,
this has such a
the
high
staff.
score.
Yeah.
It
Oh,
looks
so most of it's
really,
just,
really good.
visuals carrying it? What about the
Yeah.
audio?
Uh,
Like,
who did the audio?
is it noticeable? ODEP? Or sorry, ODED, sorry. OPED, bleh.
I don't. Well, if we're gonna talk about OPED, it's Penguin Research. I don't know who Penguin Research is.
Do
I
you like the OP? Have you heard it?
It's okay. It's not the best one.
Research. I feel like I've definitely heard of Penguin Research. I just don't remember what
They
they're like.
they do Magi. They did Magi, Real Life, Durara, Ours no Kyoju, Shadowverse, Gundam Build Divers. It's
Yeah,
okay. I
that's why I know
That's
them. Yep.
not my thing.
And the Phil Tyrers, it's like they're very I don't even know how you would describe them really. It's what you would expect a show like Gundam Build Divers to get.
Oh, the main sound designer, I believe, is Shota Yaso. Is that what I wrote? What I would jot down? Yeah, and they're okay. Like, cool, I guess. Thumbs up. I'm not gonna. It's no Yuki Kajira or no Hiroyuki Sawano. Like, but they're good.
To be fair, Hiroyuki Sauna has gone
I
off
I
into the
know. No.
K-pop deep end now. So,
Hey man,
but yeah.
it's good. I don't
Okay, okay.
know how else to describe it. But
And
yeah,
I know the ED was is sung by True, right? Who is like a very good singer, but I don't know what the composition was like.
it's all right.
Okay.
I mean, it's okay. It doesn't. It's no Shikanoko Noko, dude. I don't know what they.
Yeah,
Uh,
that is true.
True, true.
it's all
It's
right.
not Shikanoko.
Yeah, that other than like the story beats and whatnot, it's a visual
Mhm.
spectacle. It looks really good. That's why it has such a high
Yeah.
score. And
Okay,
you
so
know what?
actors can
I
turn up.
can't I
Yeah.
can't really fault that. No, whenever.
Okay. Okay.
What else?
Um.
Should I voice actors? I guess Will's
Yeah. Voice
voiced
actor
by
quickly.
Amasaki Kohei. Yeah, that guy. Who else? Who has he done? I don't know. I don't know who this guy is. It's not. It's no Matsuoka, but it's Kohei Amasaki. Yeah. Is this his first main role? It looks like it. No? Yes? This looks like his first main role, so good for him.
Yeah.
Let's see. Alfaria is.
Wait, he's doing Rose of the Recapture. He as Rose actually.
Hell yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Alfaria is voiced by Akira Sekine, who
Mhm.
is. I don't know who this is.
She did a couple of roles. Let me
Oh, she's
list it.
Tokime from Futo Sentai. Cool.
Yeah, she did Sora in Precure All Stars movie. She did Charlotte in Princess Principal, and she also does one of the main heroine in the series I'm going to be reviewing later, Senpai wa Otoko no Ko. Surprise, but yeah.
Colette is voiced by Amano Satomi, who is. Yeah. I don't know who this is either.
I yeah,
This character hasn't appeared yet.
I think I've heard of her, but I forget exactly.
Ulster Sion,
Oh,
aka
she did Hotaru in Idol Master Girls. Okay, okay, okay. I know this one. Yeah.
Draco Malfoy. Sion Ulster is voiced by Mizunaka Masaki. I also don't
Mhm.
know who this is. He's the main dude in Goddess Cafe, though.
Yeah.
I can hear that. It's all right.
Okay.
And then the Will's main teacher. I don't know who's Harry Potter's main support during favorite teacher in
Dumbledore?
Hogwarts.
Isn't Dumbledore?
Yeah.
I was gonna say Hagrid, but yeah, I guess his mate.
I think it's a little bit more Dumbledore.
So yeah, Workner Norgram, which is like Will's main teacher, who watches over him and be like, "Hey, Will, go kill this monster for credits." He's like, "All right, thanks, Teach." That guy's voiced by Tomokazu Seki. I don't know who this is.
Tomokazu Seki, I believe he's
Near, have you heard of this guy?
Um, I don't know.
I don't know.
he did
I can't.
Gilgamesh, right?
Who's that?
No or no? Yeah, he's the Gilgamesh voice, right? Yeah, he is the
Who's
Gilgamesh
that?
voice.
Never heard of him.
Just yeah,
Never heard
never
of
heard
him.
of him. Just some random character in Fate.
Domokashu, never heard of him either.
Yeah,
Enrico Pucci, no, I don't know who that is.
yeah.
Rob Lucci,
Pretty
never heard
like
of him.
yeah, pretty solid list overall. I think again, Otsuka Akio, Fukuyama Juns, Lin, Yusa Koji, a
I will
decent
bring
number
up.
of voices.
Who's that? Who's the character again? There's this weird 14-year-old girl who appears in the story, and she works under Elfaria to spy on Will, because Elfaria wants to hear about Will's achievements and whatnot. So she's got a spy in her ice faction and whatnot.
Okay.
And I guess the girl's name is Iris, and she's voiced by Okubo. And if
Oh,
you know
okay,
who
okay.
that is, that's Chinatsu from
Mhm.
Yuri Yuri, and she's got a Chinatsu-like voice. I'm like, damn, that's Chinatsu. And
Yeah.
I'm like, that's
She's
cool.
also Lunalu in Grand Blue, I
I know
think. From
Grand Blue. What's that? Are we talking about Grand? Are we talking about Grand Blue or Grand Blue? There's a difference.
Grand Blue.
Which is that? The
Grand
mobile
Blue
game?
Fantasy?
Yeah,
Yeah.
you have to say
Yeah.
fantasy because Grand Blue is the swimming one. Swear, don't confuse
Oh
people.
yeah.
Yeah.
I actually
The one
I apologize.
everyone knows about.
Grand Blue.
Whenever you say Grand
It
Blue,
is just
people
Grand
think people think the swimming anime and not the
Blue.
huge, super popular mobile game at all.
But yeah, but it is Grand Blue Fantasy. But yeah, a lot of good sorry, say you here. But I guess then
Oh, what
any
else?
last
I already brought
yeah.
up the director, right? The director is the same guy who did
Yeah,
Black
yeah.
Clover. That's why it looks all good.
Yep, yep,
Not
yep, yep, yep.
then.
Yoshida Tatsuya is very prolific. Yeah.
So
What
yeah,
would you rate it?
the reason why people like it is because it looks really good, and people are waiting for that Black Clover season 4. Is it 4?
I forget.
5? Is it 5?
Who cares?
the
And
next season.
you'll
Yeah.
you'll definitely get your Black Clover fix from this series. Boy with magic and a sword, and he
Okay.
fights people and wants to become the
So
sage, the Mage Emperor,
it's
the
kind of it's kind
Grande
of
of Arde.
it's yeah, it's sort of to sate people while they wait for the new Black Clover stuff, hopefully, right? So, but yeah, again, I guess
I
what would you
mean,
rate it
I
in
wouldn't
your
I
last
wouldn't
words?
say bad, but people who like Black Clover and
Might be okay with it.
Ashley and Seven Spellblades would definitely like this series, so
Yeah.
don't write it off, I would say. Even though people have
Yeah.
been saying like this is one of the more underrated, like hidden gems of this season. Which is like,
Underrated, huh? Okay.
okay. So yeah. What would I rate it? What did I give Spellblades? Did I give Spellblades 7? I don't know. Everything's a
I
7 or
forget what
8.
you gave it. I think you gave it a 7 or 8, and then we were just like, okay.
My personal opinion on this series, I'm going to give it a solid 8, I guess.
It's higher than Spellblade? Did
Well,
you say it was worse?
despite the despite the gripes I have with the story and whatnot, I can
Okay.
definitely see why people like this series, even though it has the DanMachi formula. The fights are good.
Okay.
Uh, yeah, the
Okay.
fights are good. The story's not so good, but at least the fights are good.
All right.
The
I
main
guess
the main
the
character is the main character is cool in fights, I guess. Uh, the
so
story,
essentially it's just the fight scenes. It's just the fight scenes.
I believe it's just the visual spectacle. It looks good. It's definitely
Okay.
something that would go mainstream if given the chance. Probably is
All right.
because it looks good. Stories shallow, whatnot. I have my gripes about it, but
Okay.
it's the Danmachi author are doing it all over again.
All right.
But
Okay.
yeah,
Well,
if you like this series, I'm definitely gonna recommend Black Clover. I'm definitely gonna recommend Seven Spellblades. I'm definitely gonna recommend Mashley
yeah.
because this series is super straightforward. There's basically no comedy or whatnot. It's a pretty serious series.
Okay.
I do prefer
Oh,
Mashley over it. Like uh, if I'm going to rank this series like something above and below, I'd say Mashley's above this because Mashley has the absurd humor
mhm,
that goes with it and has a better magic school uh setting because they do more stuff in this magic school other than here where other than this series in Wistoria where it's mostly about Will fighting things and whatnot.
yeah.
And one series below is I'm probably gonna say Spellblades
Okay.
because even
All
though
right.
I do like even though I do like Nanao, people I'm never gonna say Oliver's a good main character. He's kind of ass. Nanao's a good main character though.
Okay.
He's like Nanao is written better than Oliver. I'm gonna say that, and
Yeah,
she stays
I think we did cover that in the review. For
close
Spellblade.
to Oliver. Thus, her character development is better than what we see in here in Wistoria,
Mhm.
but it doesn't look as good as Wistoria.
Okay.
Say, yeah,
Anyways,
8 out of 10.
well,
I will. It's it's kind of lukewarm for me, but I would definitely recommend it to other people. That's why I get the 8.
lukewarm 8. All right.
I gotta fuck other people. But yeah.
Ah.
Anyways, thank you, Toast,
It's like if
for
I recommend it to people, I don't think
Maybe,
they get mad
maybe
at
I
me.
wouldn't have gotten as
So
much blowback if I just fucking was like, yeah, Nugget 10 fucking sucks cock, but like, it's like a 8, 9 out of 10. You know,
you
like,
should you Dark should have just recommended Nagaton, to be honest. But anyways, I can see sort of what you said, some of the positive points for
it's very good
Wistoria.
shonen for people that like shonen.
But yeah, this is Wistoria. That was Wistoria, Wand and Sword, also known as Tsue to Tsurugi no Wistoria. This is manga original, done by the same author who did DanMachi. So you're pretty much gonna get very similar brand, or more or less a carbon copy of this. Done by Actus, as noted by Toast. Actus pretty much rolled up, all prepared, did very well with the visuals. So if you like that sort of like just action and like Magic Academy stuff with the DanMachi flair, I please do check it out.